Welcome to Team Dell's presentation on repositioning the Dell Computer Campaign by Johnny, Lori, Leslie, Stephanie, and Mong. We believe that Dell can become the PC with power. Most successful marketing campaigns don't market what they sell, but why they sell it. To this end, we propose a brand storytelling campaign built around power 24/7. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Check your phone or your tablet for the latest news and gossip? Go online to read Facebook and Twitter messages. The young professionals today seek to be connected 24/7. Dell's XPS line, if uniquely positioned, can not only become the PC with power, but it can become the PC with power connected 24/7 to keep young professionals connected to their lives all day and all night. Feed your 24/7 habit. Power up with Dell.
Based on the big idea focused on 24/7 and power, we created a social media-based campaign built on these two elements. Surrounding the tagline, "What does power mean to you?" we are building a campaign with brand and consumer-generated content that answers this question. Power has a very broad meaning and can be interpreted freely and approached from multiple angles. The goal is to tie Dell and XPS and associate that with power, which is something lacking in the perception of all brands in the PC market. The unused hashtag Power247 will be the core of all content in multiple social media platforms. Content will be in the form of 6-second videos on Vine, images on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook, and text-based on Twitter and Facebook. Tumblr will be used as a platform to aggregate all content. Paid and owned media will also be used, such as print and outdoor ads, as well as campaign microsite. As results of social media campaigns are best when they're extended for a longer time. Our timeline for this campaign will be 12 months. The initial push from paid media will last 3 months, garnering awareness on the campaign as well as pushing consumer-generated content. The content from brand and consumers to answer this broad question of what does power mean to you can appeal to logic, emotions, aspirations, and so forth. For example, the strength of a sun on a hot day could be a logical interpretation. The image of a parent protecting a young child could be from an emotional angle. Or Mark McGrath hitting the baseball out of the park could be another way to look at it. We could also leverage existing social media campaigns out there that conveys power in a different sense. For example, Ivanka Trump's Women Who Work campaign, showcasing powerful women who can handle both the difficulties and challenges of career and being a mother.
Current Dell channel on YouTube will be enhanced so as to reinforce the hashtag Power247 Dell campaign. In order to achieve authentic native posts, we will leverage dark posts on Facebook that allow ads to show up as trending topics without having to be formally published to the site. This will allow for a more authentic experience that isn't intrusive and relatable to our target audience. As we have touched on before, we will use 6-second Vine videos to suggest power so that our consumers associate Dell with power. We will use a combination of aspirational, emotional, and humorous clips that suggest power. For example, Bugatti racing around the track, Mark McGwire hitting with all his might and power the ball out of the ballpark, Calvin Harris creating happiness on the dance floor to suggest emotional connection with our target audience. This would also allow our consumers to upload their own video definitions of power, which is a similar approach to GE's hashtag 6-second science fair. Tumblr will feature an aggregation of all brand messaging around hashtag power247 and user content, and this will lead to all the different hashtag power247 digital platforms.
The offline creative will continue the same theme of powerful images and the call to action at hashtag power247. The outdoor billboards would be strategically placed near stores that sell Dell products, such as Best Buy, for example. This gives Dell the final say about what product the consumer should buy as they head into the electronics store. The Simple Clean campaign is seamless as we move into newspaper and magazine advertisements. This would be a small spend as most millennials prefer to receive their communications from companies online.
And finally, we will use metrics to measure the success of our hashtag Power 24/7 campaign. Using Google Analytics and a measurement of regular website traffic, we will be able to understand where consumers are coming from and whether or not they're using our hashtag to follow to the Dell website. Furthermore, we will use a survey to evaluate consumer content and understand whether or not consumers are responding to our hashtag campaign and where we might need to adjust in order to ensure success.